Okay, there are 3 plans now available on Thousand Trails. If you want to buy a package directly from Thousand Trails, one of the new packages that doesn't make you commit to your lifetime of paying annual dues, then you might want to take advantage of one of these new plans. I did a video telling you about the Journey Plan. The Journey Plan, the new Explore plan, and the new Adventure Plan are either a 2-year contract or a 4-year contract. After your contract is over, they will up you for another year at a time. And it's going to be based on the new yearly prices. But for the 2 years or the 4 years that you have your contract, you are locked into one price. And you're not going to have to worry about the increases that you would normally have to pay if you were purchasing a camping pass. Okay? So let's get to it. The Journey, I talked about in a previous video, but I'll tell you real quick. The 2-year plan is $500 down and $146 a month. Okay? For 2 years, which comes to a total of $4,000 for the 2-year plan. Here are the particulars that tell you how much you can book in advance, etc. You got to read the fine print in your contract. If you have the 4-year package, which has the same benefits, it's just 4 years you're locked in. It's $700 down initially and $136 a month for 4 years. The total cost you'll be paying is $7,200 for the 4-year plan. That's the Journey. That's the one I have. Everything is subject to availability. So just because you get 3 weeks or just because you get 2 weeks doesn't mean that that time period is going to be available in that park. You may only get 5 days. Okay? But, you cannot go Trails Collection to Trails Collection on this plan, but you can go Thousand Trails to Trails Collection, back to Thousand Trails with no time out of the system. Let's move on. Let's go on to the Explore program. The Explore program, I'm going to put it right up here so you can see what it says. Okay, with the new Explore plan, the biggest difference, the only difference I really see with that plan, besides price, okay, is going to be the 150-day booking window. So you're going to get 30 days or 1 month more to extra time to book your reservation. So that kind of screws it for the other people who have the plan, the Journey Plan, like I have. And that's happened to me twice. I buy a plan and then they come up with a new one that makes it more difficult for me to get a reservation on the plan I just bought. But that's the way it is. And actually, the only place I've really had any kind of a great problem getting into has been with Trails Collection. That's getting into the parks and the Keys. But basically, I've been doing pretty well with the places I stay, getting the the Trails Collection parks that I like to go to. I only got into a Keys Resort park for 2 days. You got to call every day and hope somebody cancels and you get in. They only have so many spaces that they, put aside. Things could change now because some of the people that were utilizing these parks and the memberships will no longer be going there due to the change of their lifestyle. So let's go finish looking at that, and I'll tell you what the price is for that plan. Okay, the Explore plan is a 2-year or a 4-year. And here's the numbers. It's $6,700 down, $220 a month. 4-year is $10,008 for 4 years. Total, $1,100 down, $202 a month payment. a little closer look that I took at that Explore plan to see what the big difference was between that and the Journey, other than the 30-day booking. It's in the perks. You got to look in the perks, because in the perks you'll see that with the Journey plan, you're gonna, if you use one of the cabin benefits, because you have a free cabin, not a cabin every year, at $85. You can rent your cabins at $85. Well, for the Explore plan, you only pay $60, and you do get this same thing where you get one free cabin a year, and then they reimburse you, but you're gonna pay less on the Explore than you're paying on the Journey for those perks if you use them. Now, some people might never use them, some people might. So those are where you got to look and see what the difference is, and you're going to get that extra month to book and reserve your your reservations in advance. It's always been that way, that the different plans get a bigger booking window than other plans. And of course, the camping pass gets less of a booking window than anybody. So let's move on. You got to look at those particulars and look at blackout dates and what states that you cannot use your 21 days in, and during what time of the year that you're going to be restricted. That could make a difference on whether these packages will apply to you or not. Okay, so let's go to the adventure. Okay, so the perks are always in the details. Okay, the perks are in the details. Remember that. So with the adventure plan, it is a higher price. It's going to cost you more money. You get a 2-year or a 4-year, but look what you get. You get a 180-day booking window. You still get the discount, like it's $60 instead when you go to do the cabin rentals. You get the the free cabin every year. There are some other perks in there for family, but you get the Trails Collection Plus plan with this. Now that is the one that always came with the adventure. You get to book 90 days in advance for those days, and if you're going to get 21 days on the Trails Collection. You get 3 weeks on that Trails Collection Plus program. So are you ready for this one? Are you ready for this? Never song like that. Are you ready for this? Okay, are you ready for this? Here's the prices for the adventure plan. Now, if you remember, I think when the adventure plan first came out for the lifetime plan, it was like they were giving you $2,000 off the lifetime membership, but you paid dues every year. So even though you paid $14,000 for the package, and then you paid your annual dues every year, and then $600 for the Trails Collection Plus plan, so you were paying like $1,700 a year in dues, and still paid that $14,000 for the lifetime plan. Okay, it's not like that anymore. The Trails Collection Plus comes right with that package. Okay, but you're gonna see for $14,800, you're only getting a 4-year contract. Okay, ta-da, here's the big one, the biggest package. The 2-year adventure is $8,000. You're gonna put $900 down and $294 a month. For the 4-year adventure plan, it's gonna be $14,400. I said $800 before, but it's $14,400. It's $1,500 down when you sign the contract, and $268.75 a month. So folks, the bottom line is this: if you're a full-timer and you're going to use these packages all the time, this is the best way you could go. I mean, if you had $1,000 a month rent on an apartment, that sometimes is bigger than your camper, but depends. All right, if you had that on an apartment, that's $12,000 a year, where you're getting 4 years for $14,000. Think about that when you think about purchasing any kind of a package. If you're traveling and you're using the parks and Thousand Trails and the Trails Collection resorts, I love my plan, my journey plan. That's all I can afford right now. And, you know, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to do this. I'm 70 years old. And then I'm not trying to sell my package. And after I've already put out like $17,000 plus yearly annual dues, it's really a better, in the long run, I think it turns out to be a good package for you. And it's, you know, the payments are affordable and they're broken up. And if you decide you don't want to travel anymore, you don't have to try to sell it. You don't have to try to get out of paying those annual dues. So it's a great plan. They sound like great plans. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be partial because you really need to read the fine print. You know, there's more to it than what I'm telling you, but that's the basics. There are specific restrictions and how many holidays, etc., and, you know, how many weeks you can get during prime seasons and how many, you know, things like that. You got to do your homework yourself for that. I mean, I'm not going to do everything for you. I think I did a lot for you. But I'm going to tell you what, if you got any questions, you should call the people that I bought my plan from. You know, I mean, I'm just telling you that's who I got it from. But, you know, they were great. They're great people. They're a great couple. It's Niki and Jake. And they're, I met them over in the Las Vegas Trails Collection. But I think they are traveling reps where they, you know, go to different parks, you know, maybe every other year or something, or in the winter. But I'm going to put their email address down below in my description. So if you have questions, you can email Jake or Niki, and I'm sure they'll answer the questions for you. And they can help you with the contract if you decide you want to buy one of these packages. And tell them that I sent you. Just say RV Rebel Girl or Carolyn. They know who I am. But hey, I hope this helped some of the questions that are coming up on the Facebook groups and stuff, you know, and I hope this helps explain it for you. And if you like my channel, subscribe. That helps me. Share it. That helps me. Hey, you guys, have safe travels, and, you know, just enjoy this life. Life's too short.